What if I told you you could eat rice, bread, pasta, potatoes, even sweets, and your body might not store them as fat? Now that sounds like a scam, because for years we've been told carbs make you fat. But that's not actually how the human body works. Carbs don't automatically turn into fat. Your body is far more intelligent and far more timing sensitive than that. And there is one simple concept that changes everything. When you eat, carbs may matter just as much as how many you eat. Today we're breaking down a concept most people never hear properly, the carb timing effect. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how some people eat carbs daily and stay lean, while others eat clean food and still gain fat. Chapter 1, the big carb myth. Let's start by clearing a major misunderstanding. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are not fat. Carbs are simply energy. When you eat carbohydrates, your body converts them into glucose. And glucose is used for brain function, muscle activity, daily movement, basic survival energy. So carbs are not bad. But here's where things get interesting. Your body has limits on how it handles excess energy. And that's where fat storage happens. Not from carbs alone, but from timing, activity, and total energy balance. Chapter 2, what really makes you store fat. Fat storage is not random. It happens when you consistently eat more energy than you burn. When that happens, glycogen stores fill up. Energy demand is already met. Excess glucose gets converted into fat. But here's the key detail most people miss. Your body prioritizes using carbs when energy demand is high. That means after workouts, during active periods, when muscles need replenishment. Carbs are more likely to be used for fuel, not stored. Chapter 3, the timing trick explained. Now we get to the core idea. Carb timing is about matching carbs with energy demand. Think of your body like a fuel system. If you pour fuel into a moving car, it gets used immediately. If you pour fuel into a parked car, it sits and accumulates. Your body works similarly. When you are active, exercising, or depleted from previous activity, carbs go toward glycogen refill, muscle recovery, immediate energy use. But when you are inactive, sedentary, already full of glycogen, carbs are more likely to be stored, not because they are bad, but because they are unnecessary at that moment. Chapter 4, why post-workout carbs work differently. After exercise, your body enters a unique state. Muscle glycogen is reduced. Energy demand is high. Insulin sensitivity increases. This means your body becomes extremely efficient at using carbs. So when you eat carbs after training, glucose goes into muscle cells faster. Recovery improves. Fat storage likelihood decreases. This is why athletes eat carbs and stay lean. It's not magic, it's physiology. Chapter 5, the insulin misunderstanding. Now let's address something controversial. Insulin. Insulin is often blamed for fat gain, but insulin is not the villain. Insulin is a storage and energy regulation hormone. It does store glucose in muscles, help replenish glycogen, regulate blood sugar. But here's the key truth. Insulin only stores excess energy. If you are in a calorie deficit, even with insulin spikes, you still lose fat. So timing carbs doesn't mean avoiding insulin. It means using insulin when your body actually needs it. Chapter 6, why night carbs got a bad name. You may have heard, don't eat carbs at night, but this is an oversimplification. The real issue is not nighttime itself, it is activity level. At night, most people are inactive, sitting, sleeping soon after eating. So energy demand is low. That means carbs are less likely to be used immediately. But that doesn't mean night carbs automatically become fat. It depends on total daily calories, activity earlier in the day, and glycogen levels. Timing alone is not a rule, it's a context. Chapter 7, Why some people eat carbs and stay lean. This is where confusion happens. You've seen people eat rice daily, eat bread daily, eat sweets sometimes, and still stay lean. Meanwhile, others eat clean food, avoid carbs, but still gain fat. Why? Because fat gain is not just about carbs. It's about total intake, activity level, consistency, and metabolic flexibility. Lean people usually move more, adjust intake naturally, burn carbs through activity, and avoid constant overeating. Not because they avoid carbs, but because they match carbs with energy use. End of part 1 teaser. So far, we've learned something powerful. Carbs are not the problem. Timing and energy demand matter far more than fear-based rules. But in part 2, we go deeper into the real strategy. Exact carb timing windows, morning versus evening carb effects, fat loss versus muscle gain timing, and how athletes manipulate carbs without gaining fat. And most importantly, why most diet advice about carbs is completely outdated. In part 1, we broke the foundation. Carbs are not the enemy. Fat gain is not caused by carbs alone. And timing matters more than fear-based rules. Now we go deeper. Because understanding why timing works is not enough. You need to understand when carbs actually help your body stay lean and when they are more likely to be stored. And this is where physiology becomes strategy. Chapter 8. The 3 carb windows your body cares about. Your body doesn't treat carbs equally throughout the day. It reacts differently based on energy state. There are 3 major carb windows. Window number 1, post-workout, high-efficiency window. This is the most important one. After training, your body is in a unique state. Muscle glycogen is depleted. Insulin sensitivity is increased. Nutrient absorption is prioritized. So, when you eat carbs here, they are more likely to go into muscle storage and less likely to be stored as fat. This is why athletes often eat rice after workouts, pasta post-training, even sweets in controlled amounts, because the body is primed for recovery, not storage. Window number 2, active daytime hours, utilization window. This is when you are walking, working, moving, physically active. During this period, carbs are used as immediate fuel, not stored, because your body is constantly burning glucose, maintaining movement, supporting brain activity. So carbs eaten here are often burned throughout the day, not accumulated in fat stores. Window number 3, low activity night, storage potential window. This is where misunderstanding happens. At night or during inactivity, energy demand drops, movement is minimal. Digestion continues, but usage is low. So carbs eaten here are more likely to refill glycogen first, and excess may be stored if calories are high. But important truth, it is not automatic fat gain. It depends on total daily calories, glycogen levels, overall activity. Timing only shifts probability, not destiny. Chapter 9. Why carbs at night make you fat is wrong. This is one of the most repeated myths. Let's correct it properly. Your body does not have a clock that says, it is 8 p.m., store fat now. That is not how biology works. What actually matters is 1. Energy balance over 24 hours. 2. Glycogen status. 3. Activity level. 4. Total calorie intake. If you eat carbs at night but stay within calorie needs, you still lose fat. If you eat carbs in the morning but overconsume calories, you still gain fat. So timing alone cannot override energy balance, but it can influence hunger control, energy stability, performance, adherence. And that is where its real value lies. Chapter 10. Why athletes use carb timing. Athletes don't fear carbs, they use them strategically. Because performance depends on glycogen availability, so they often reduce carbs before training, in some cases, increase carbs after training, align carbs with high output days. Why? Because carbs improve recovery speed, muscle replenishment, training intensity, endurance. So for athletes, carb timing is not about fat loss fear. It is about performance optimization. Chapter 11. The Carb Storage Mechanism Simplified. Let's simplify what actually happens. When you eat carbs, 1. They become glucose. 2. Blood sugar rises. 3. Insulin helps transport glucose. 4. Glycogen stores fill, muscles plus liver. 5. Excess energy is stored as fat only if surplus exists. Keyword, surplus. Without surplus, fat storage does not increase meaningfully. So carbs are not automatically fat. They are energy that follows demand. Chapter 12. Why low-activity people gain fat faster on carbs. Now here's the real issue. It's not carbs, it's mismatch. If someone eats high carbs but moves very little and stays in calorie surplus, then the body has no immediate use for glucose, so energy gets stored over time. Not because carbs are harmful, but because demand is low and intake is high. That imbalance is the real driver. Chapter 13. The Insulin Panic Explained Properly. Insulin is often misunderstood. People think insulin equals fat storage. But the correct version is insulin equals energy partitioning hormone. It decides where energy goes, muscles, liver, fat stores. But it does not create energy. It only manages what already exists. So insulin spikes alone do not equal fat gain. Excess energy over time does. Chapter 14. Why carb quality still matters. Even though timing is powerful, food quality still plays a role, because different carbs behave differently. Fiber slows absorption. Refined carbs digest quickly. Whole foods increase satiety. So while timing affects when carbs are used, quality affects how your body responds to them. Both matter, but neither overrides calorie balance. End of part 2. Teaser. So now we understand, carb timing is about matching energy intake with energy demand. But in part 3, we go into the final layer. Exact practical carb timing strategy for fat loss. What to eat on rest days versus workout days. Mistakes people make when timing carbs. And the final truth about whether timing even matters for most people. And most importantly, we answer, is carb timing a powerful tool or just a minor optimization? In parts 1 and 2, we broke down the science. Carbs are not the enemy. Timing affects how your body uses them, and energy demand determines whether they're used or stored. Now we reach the most important part, not theory, not confusion, but a practical system you can actually use. Because knowing science means nothing if you don't know how to apply it in real life. So let's turn everything into a simple framework. Chapter 15. The Simple Carb Timing Rule. No confusion version. Forget complicated diet rules. Carb timing comes down to one principle. Eat carbs when your body needs energy the most. That's it. So instead of fearing carbs, you match carbs with activity, movement, recovery, energy demand. This creates what we call metabolic alignment, when intake matches output timing. Chapter 16. Best time to eat carbs for fat loss. If your goal is fat loss, the most efficient timing looks like this. 1. After workout, best window. This is the highest efficiency moment. Why? Because your body is depleted, insulin sensitive, ready to refill energy stores. So carbs eaten here are most likely used for muscle recovery, glycogen replenishment, energy restoration. Examples: rice after gym, potatoes post-workout, oats after training. This does not mean unlimited carbs. It means optimal usage. 2. Active part of the day. If you are walking, working, moving around, your body continuously uses glucose. So carbs here are steadily burned, not stored immediately, used for daily function. This is why many lean people naturally eat carbs during the day, because they are active during the day. 3. Inactive nighttime, control window. At night, movement decreases, energy demand drops, digestion slows. So carbs here are not bad, but they are more likely to be stored if total calories are too high, you are already glycogen filled, activity is low. So the strategy is not avoiding carbs, but controlling portions at low activity times. Chapter 17, the biggest mistake people make. Most people misunderstand carb timing in one major way. They think timing can fix overeating. It cannot. If you eat too many calories, even at perfect timing, you will still gain fat. Timing improves efficiency, energy use, performance, but it does not override total energy balance. This is where most diets fail. They optimize timing, but ignore quantity. Chapter 18, why some people stay lean on high carbs. You've seen people who eat rice daily, bread regularly, pasta often, and still stay lean. Why? Because they naturally move more, adjust intake unconsciously, maintain balance over time, stay within calorie needs. It's not carb avoidance, it's energy balance awareness. Their lifestyle matches their intake. Chapter 19, why carb timing feels like it works. Carb timing often feels powerful at first because it changes water retention, digestion speed, workout performance, hunger patterns. So people see quick scale changes, less bloating, better gym energy. But these are short-term effects, not direct fat loss acceleration, and that's why it gets overhyped online. Chapter 20, the truth nobody wants to hear. Here is the final truth. Carb timing is not a fat loss secret. It is a fat loss optimization tool, meaning helpful for structure, useful for athletes, beneficial for performance, but not required for fat loss. Because fat loss still comes from calorie control, consistency, sustainable habits. Everything else is secondary. Final chapter, the real strategy that actually works. If we remove all myths and complexity, the most effective approach is simple. Eat carbs when you are active, reduce carbs when you are inactive, keep total calories controlled, prioritize protein and consistency. That's it. No magic timing trick, no fat-burning window, just intelligent alignment between food intake and real-life energy use. Final closing, the real lesson. So what did we learn? Carbs don't make you fat. Bad timing doesn't automatically make you fat either. But mismatched habits over time do. The real issue is not rice, bread, pasta, or carbs at night. The real issue is ignoring your total energy balance and lifestyle pattern. Because your body is not reacting to single meals, it is reacting to patterns over time. Final line. So if you take one thing from this entire video, let it be this. You don't need to fear carbs. You just need to understand when your body actually uses them. Because once you match fuel with demand, you stop fighting your body and start working with it.